Jean Beaudoin joins us in studio. He's the Ensemble Montréal candidate for Borough Mayor in Plateau-Mont-Royal. Good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning. Thanks to you for giving me this opportunity to talk to citizens directly.
Tell us, why did you want to get into politics?
I've been engaged and activist in my borough for about 25 years. I live there. I love it. As an architect and engineer, I've pushed many projects to street transformation, going from Saint-Denis in 2015, trying to save it from constructions. If you remember, it was a red boardwalk. In the last 4 years, I was working with the BIA, the storefront and businesses along Mont-Royal, our main street, to transform it in the summer. And some projects got lagging in education and mobility in my area. So after 3 years of asking the city to help us push it forward, I said, if I cannot push it forward as a designer, I will try to push it as a politician.
Right. We've been talking about mobility quite a bit on this show over the last week, but also in the last year, specifically on Park Avenue. And I'm just wondering from you, there have been several cyclist and pedestrian deaths in recent years on Park Avenue, and there's talk and constant talk about fixing it and what needs to be done to fix Park Avenue. What would you do to make Park Avenue safer if you were elected borough mayor?
This street has long been very important. You know, it had a tramway about 125 years ago. It was the way to get out of the city towards the north. So it always has been an issue about how to connect and make sure you transit to go outside the city. Now it's connecting to the 40 highway for cars. For sure, we need to think about transit north to south, but we need to start thinking about reconnecting both sides of Park Avenue. In Milton Park, it's an intersection. It's between McGill, what we call McGill Ghetto, and Milton Park, and up to in my borough in the Mile End area. It's an amazing sector where you have 4 main streets with commercial spaces, and park is important in that network. So what we'll try to do for sure is focus at a borough scale is pedestrian connections at every intersection, and not wait 6 years like the whole mandate of the exiting mayor. We'll do it as we do it on Mont-Royal Street using tactical urbanism. So we'll act very fast.
And when you say tactical urbanism, what do you mean by that?
Tactical urbanism is ways to act in very, very short time, to be able to test things and listen to citizens, people crossing the project. So we'll use that to make the crossroads much safer and be sure that it works. And not wait about mobility solutions that come 4 years ahead.
Do you have an idea of how that would work? Let's say, for example, let's take Park and Bernard. What would you do to allow people to cross that intersection in a safe way or safer?
But you know, what's fun on a main street with commercial stores is to go on both sides. So you need to cross at some points. It's quite tricky on Park. What we'll do, this area has a very large issue about Sponge Park. You know, water surges. There's a very large area there. There's one in Milton Park, and there's one on Van Horn. So what we could do is, like we did on Mont-Royal Street, install small gardens to make the street a little bit less wide. So you don't have to cross 5 lanes of cars. This way will be much safer. And if you do it on the 4 main streets, if you do it on Laurier, Fairmount, Saint-Viateur, and Park, there's a sequence of stops and areas where the drivers going from south to north will have to slow down. And I think this will provide a solution and make this area with a better sound and a more enjoyable experience.
What role does cycling infrastructure play in your plans for Park Avenue, if at all?
It depends on who you listen to. Soraya hired me as a porte-parole of mobility. And because I'm an engineer in this field, I'm an architect in this field, and it's the reason why I got in politics. Mont-Royal Street, it's a very nice place to walk through, but it creates on 2 kilometer challenges on connecting and having mobility of citizens and goods in the area. So for mobility on park, for example, if you change park without thinking it globally, which was not done in more than 16 years in Le Plateau, a global plan of mobility, where the path of the car, the path of ambulance, the path of fire trucks, path of deliveries, people walking, people on bikes, and people taking the bus. You manage them and balance them along the different streets of the area, and that's what we'll do.
Does that sound like there would be no cycling infrastructure on Park Avenue?
I think discussing with people of Vélo Québec, there's a challenge there. There's lots of other streets, but we want to have, we say audits. It's a way to understand where people walk, sidewalks, where people bicycle path, and the streets. There are 56% damage on the plateau. And the idea is to make sure that we plan it. So we need to know where you can go. And if it's not too far on a side street like Jeanne Mance on Hutchison, you can have alternative. But we'll need to plan it. And like I said, the last planned global plan for mobility on the plateau was done by Hélène Fotopoulos, not even Luc Ferrandez, certainly not Luc Rabouin. And that's the first thing we'll tackle. And Soraya named me for that.
All right. Let's head to Milton Park.
Yes.
In the Milton Park sector of the borough. Another area that we've talked about quite a bit in the last couple of years. I'm wondering for you, what needs to be done to manage cohabitation between residents who are housed and residents who are unhoused?
Milton Park is an amazing community of people engaged in their area. They're also they invented almost the idea of co-op living, so out of the market building. So it's a community that's innovative. And to help them, I think one big part is to listen to their issues. And there are some actions that have been made with no interactions. And we bringing open door and having changes in the way it functions without consulting. So this community is more than committed to help, but they're overwhelmed. So our team will triple the effort in money to help the citizens help, street workers help, and this is one way. And the other one is to make sure to act and help them reconnect to a ground level. They don't have access to inside buildings, and inside buildings they don't have access to, say, a theater, community spaces. So the main issue is to listen to them and then commit to their issues of security, cleanliness also.
How would you work with organizations that help those who are unhoused in the Milton Park area?
We're downtown, so I'll give you an example that's a bit out of my borough. Okay. I worked on St. Catherine Street summer installation with the amazing business community there. And we managed to build a team that was uniting people that have challenges in the street and street workers to become sort of the cleaners, but also gardeners of the street. It helped reduce graffitis because people knew it was part of the people in their district that helped. So this part would be something that we would certainly do for Milton Park. Connect the community with the people that have housing challenges, health challenges. They do it already in Milton Park with Atelier. The idea is to connect people so they intervene in their street. It's their public space, so we can make it better. So this is one way we could do it.
Mm-hmm. What are your other priorities for the plateau if you are elected?
Uh, of course, the elephant in the room or in the street or stuck in traffic is mobility. But our main focus is we're lucky in La Plateau. We have many quality neighborhoods. Some call it 15-minute city, having near your house services for education, services for stores. Always say main streets are the most important public space for a neighborhood, and also health. So one part we'll do is to make sure to bring and value those spaces and a destination in a district. Yesterday in Milton Park, sorry, I bring you back there again. They had the they call it Soigné Milton Park, Eel Milton Park. They can't have a doctor near their area. They don't have a clinic near their area. So this will work for us to connect them. The other, for sure,
you have to work with the provincial government though to get that done.
Yes, but the study they presented, again, amazing community activist, is the fact that the border for health services is not connected to the borough limits. So Milton Park is stuck being with southwest services. So this solution can be taken on by having mayors discussing with the health level, and they also have places on those boards to solve it. So this is one part. The other is we try to want to make sure that you're able to live in the plateau as long as you want, and hopefully for the whole life. So you need to adjust permits. You need to find ways that the kid that's raised there can live in the borough. So this month we're going to work to help people buy a home, help people stay in a home that is a low rent prices. And those are our key, three key strong points.
How would you, in terms of the rent and making sure that people can stay in a home they can afford, how would you do that?
Again, sorry for that, but Milton Park has set quite an example for that with the co-ops. They collectively they own multiple homes, and this way they lower the cost. Our current challenge in the central district, like Le Plateau, is that our buildings are old. So one way to help them, and that's their challenge in Milton Park, but also in my land and de la Rimier, how do you fix a building that's 100 years old when the rent is so low and no owners that says, okay, I'm going to resell? So we're going to assist them with permits, assist them with financial help to help them rebuild these spaces, so homes, but we'll also do the same with streets. So there's going to be a lot of rebuilding and fixing our very nice but borough that needs a bit of help to fix his buildings.
And how will that make sure that it's not more expensive for the tenant to live there?
One of my angles is that if you live in a home for a very, very long time, it won't be flipped and be raised. So there's family. In my team, there are, in my team, members of borough candidates. Some have been here for 48 years being born there. They're in homes that haven't have raised of rents because it's lower. So I think one of the key is to make sure that you're able to stay and your owner respects if you're a renter, as an owner, you're able to not have challenges of high spikes in your rents or taxes as a owner.
Is there a push or on your part if you become borough mayor for more social or cooperative housing?
Yes, for sure.
Milton Park a couple of times.
yes, but even social housing. But we're discussing it also for on main streets. We need proximity stores, stores that serve you for nearby services. The permits are so complex that now we're stuck, respectfully, with only change like Tim Hortons or PFK or McDonald's because they're the only one to be able to pay a rent. So we're going to try to work with SDC to take out from markets some commercial spaces. We're going to work with theater spaces like La Tulipe, Vert-Bouteille to take out those spaces from the commercial trends. So the events in them, the stores in them, and the citizen living in a building out of market will be able to live for a long time in the area.
Yeah, naturally, but it's another conversation we've had. We have quite a few in the plateau in the last little while. We're coming up on the end of the show. I just want to ask you, you said that your political career is 40 days old,
Yes.
40. What are the next few days? I guess maybe like we're counting down. So it's October 3rd today. What do the next 29 days look for you?
I'm lucky to be surrounded with an amazing team. Ferraya is building team of experts committed to their city. So I look forward to work with the Gary Epi, an urbanist
running in the
north part.
North of you.
Theodore Esco, who's about IA, a creative actor. So my next 29 days in the borough will be door to door. We discussed a little about this challenge of reaching the public. So tonight, this morning is a great opportunity to talk directly, but the other ones I'm learning is doing door to door. So I feel my 29 days will be door to door and trying to make sure people know and understand that we're there to listen and act for the borough of Plateau, but also the whole of Montreal.
All right. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, sir.
That is Jean Beaudoin, is the Ensemble Montréal candidate for borough mayor in Plateau-Mont-Royal.